Hey, Cock 45 here. You know, it'd really be nice to have a pocket revolver that I could cock the hammer on and still be snag free. Hey, what do you know? Let's cock this one. Yeah, let's cock it again. Cock it again. Cock it again. Let's just keep cocking. Oh, I forgot. It's not a 6-shooter. Yeah, it'd also be nice to have a J-frame, little bitty revolver that would hold 18 rounds instead of 5. Okay, I was thinking 6. Yeah, this is the Model 49, Smith Wesson. I bet you knew that because 80% of you at least can read and knew what the title said. So we're glad you came by to learn about this kind of a vintage Smith collectible, right? Pretty cool, kind of ugly, at least you might think so. Some of you don't, some of you actually have them. Some of you might have one right now in your pocket. I would not doubt that a bit. This design is actually fairly popular. And this one I bought from a friend of mine. He had picked up somewhere. It was almost like new. Made in like 76, 77, along in there. And I was glad to add it to the collection, at least for now. So, what do you think? Is it ugly or is it not? You know, I mean, some people don't even think I'm ugly. So some people might not think that's really ugly. And of course, the joke, as I was opening there, was some people want to be able to cock their revolver. I don't necessarily on a little pocket revolver. And this one you can do that though. That was the reason. That was the rationale behind that design. That humpback right there, Model 49. That's an all steel revolver. I got some others out here we'll talk about. And let's just go ahead and kind of put it in perspective for you. A little bit of history here, at least history of Smith & Wesson. And again, we welcome them to Tennessee. This is in fact, I was carrying this today. The ammo you see on the table over there is what I took out of it. So this is similar in a lot of ways, except it's alloy. And it's a 5-shot J-frame. Okay, these are J-frame revolvers. But yeah, you can see there's a difference, isn't there? Every J-frame is not like the others. This is John's. This one goes back in, what was it? I forgot, in the 60s. And it's a J-frame. It's got the hammer. Now, someone bobbed the hammer spur a little bit on it, okay? Not us, but someone did that. But that's your classic Model 36, your J-frame 38 Special right there. And they came along, the Chief Special, in 1950. Okay, that firearm, a huge, huge success. Okay, especially among law enforcement. Again, we're talking about a time period where these little guns like this they were carried by a lot of people, probably, right? But the target market largely in this country, I think, was law enforcement. This is before permits and that kind of thing. Crazy times. Hard to imagine now, isn't it? We've all been carrying and getting carry permits and constitutional carry for so long now. But that was very, very popular. And then I'll go through this fairly quickly, and then in a couple of years later, it was so popular, they made it, I'm sure they had requests, I guess, they came out with the same firearm in an airweight, an alloy frame, okay? So that would make it more like this one, light, and still very shootable. So that's very popular, okay? But guess what? You still had the hammer that would hang, okay? You try to put that in your pocket as a backup gun or whatever, you know, you got that hammer spur. Now this one's not too bad, it's been ground off, keep that in mind. You know, the hammer spur is longer, a good bit longer than that. And so in my pocket, now this would work, especially this one. I happen to have a pocket holster, it would fit in, right, J-frame. If that had the full hammer, it'd be all right, but it could hang, it could snag coming out of your pocket. I think back in the day, people would carry this in a jacket pocket too, or without a holster. We've gotten smarter these days about holsters and just more choices on good holsters. So you had that snag issue. Well, guess what? In I'll get my dates right, 55, okay, they came along with this design. So you got a snag-free situation. That's not going to snag, but it's still enough of it showing that you can get your thumb on it and you can cock it, but not much to snag there. So that was 55. And you know, they had come out with the alloy, the airweight version of this in 52, I guess. So in 55, the humpback, the bodyguard, as they called it, was airweight. Okay, it was lightweight. Now it was bluish, like they're blue, but it was a lightweight firearm. So very popular. You may have one or have owned one at some point. And pretty popular because, you know, this one wasn't out yet. Now there was the Centennial. This is a copy of the Centennial from back earlier in the century, the 19th century, right? So this design is not like brand new or anything, but it's kind of new on this gun, you know, in the recent modern era, of course. So, but this was the way, though, with a little revolver like this, at least the Smiths, that you could have a nice pocket gun, a snag-free revolver, you know, just like we have with this. Okay, but and it was alloy, so it was lightweight, very popular. Ironically, the alloy version of this came before the all-steel version. So 55 for the alloy, for this gun in alloy, but then it was 59, I think. I believe it was the Massachusetts State Police requested this gun in all steel. They wanted an all-steel version of it. Okay, and you know, hold up better, stronger, less recoil. You know, there are advantages to a heavier firearm. Even a pocket firearm where you're trying to get the weight down. And so hence in 59 they made the same gun in an all steel version, I think nickel or blue, and that's what you're looking at right here. This one was made in 76, I think 77 along in there, and you know, all steel, and it's got some heft to it, and just a nice piece of hardware, you know, the old pin barreled era. And they never did really recess the cylinders, I think, on the 38 Specials. But it's the old version of the Smith Wesson. Okay, and then later they came out with the I think it was, and we've done, what was it, a 638, I think. But in '85 they came out with it in stainless. Like, you know, the '80s were the period of the stainless guns, so it came out and made sense in stainless. And in fact, I might have had one of those, or owned it even. And then in, I think, '89, they came out with the airweight stainless, okay, version of this, all right? And then these were discontinued in '96, as I understand. So those are kind of the dates and the time frame, all right? And, right? So let's shoot it some more, okay? What do you think? You think that's ugly? There is a certain ugliness about it because, let's face it, this is the classic Smith & Wesson. I should have left the old Model 29 out. We were doing something with it earlier. And, you know, just a beautiful classic Smith & Wesson, you know, like a bigger version of this with a hammer knot bob. It's just classic revolver. You know, in Webster's dictionary, if you look up revolver, it ought to be one of those, you know, with a hammer knot bobbed, or it could be a Colt. But that's what we think of as a revolver. You start messing with it, improving it, modifications like this, and you end up with something that might be a little ugly. Even both of these, right? They're just strange. I guarantee you there's people watching right now, and there's probably some people not watching right now, who wouldn't own either one of these. They just think they're abominations, you know, in the revolver world. But they really do have their place. If you study tactics and you become a tactician like I have, no, if you really understand self-defense and double action, single action, read Masa Youb and different people. All right, we're back. John got all choked up when I mentioned Masa Youb. You know, I get choked up when I just think about him and his expertise myself. But as I was saying, you may not have heard me, but if you read Masa Youb and other experts in, I don't know, the self-defense world, generally speaking, don't take my word for it, but most, yeah, just take everybody's word for it. 80 to 90, probably 100% of folks who teach, you know, defensive, just defense, you know, with a handgun or a firearm, whatever, with a revolver especially, they're going to recommend, if you use a double action revolver, if that's your defensive firearm, that you practice double action and that you do not cock it, generally speaking, in a defensive situation. Okay, just read up on that, study up on it. And so being able to cock the gun is a little bit overrated, but it's nice to have both features. Because what you're going to do, man, ooh, I brought the speed loaders today. Wow, just was able to put my hands on them, so I thought I'd just bring them out for some reason. It's going to be in a holster, hopefully. You're going to pull it out, and you know, it's gone, so I don't want anything snagging. I want to be able to pull it out and boom. And I deserve to miss because I didn't have my ears in. I shoot better when my ears are in. Like that. Okay, double action. You want to practice with it. Boom. Boom. Yeah, I'm empty. Okay, can't get those 6 rounds out of my head. So you want to, that's a big advantage of these types of firearms. You're pull and shoot, pull and shoot. You know, this thing is something I carry quite often. Let me put my carry ammo in fact, and load it up. It's the same, you get the same thing with this firearm. I'm gonna get it dirty for you all. Oh no, why am I doing this? Pull and shoot. The actions are not stiff on these little revolvers. You should be able to just put your ears in really quickly if you're threatened. Pull it out and click. Yeah, 5 rounds again. Okay, so all right, John got all choked up again. I think he's trying to interrupt and wants to shoot these beautiful Smith Wesson revolvers. So too much gun smoke in the air. So anyway, yeah, you really, these are designed double action, pull and shoot. I mean, it's not illegal to cock the hammer on a firearm and shoot a target or whatever. It's just, you know, check out the court cases. There's some weird things that go on there, and possibly if you have a single action situation where you know, because when you, again, when you cock the hammer on a double action revolver, you get a kind of a hair trigger. Okay, so some evil prosecuting attorney could make some hay out of that. Okay, read about that. But you basically want a firearm that is snag free. That's the main thing right here, isn't it? Both of these give you a snag free firearm. And you know, it kind of depends on which ugly you want, right? What is your preference for ugly? What's your ugly preference? I think I like this better. Okay, I have always thought those were very weird, but you know, I like function, and so that's fine. That's fine. I have a Charter Arms. It's kind of that design, right? 44 Special. But I prefer this. And you know, one thing you might not think about too, with the regular J frame, you know, you got your grip, as such as it is. Now this has a bigger piece of rubber, but there's more above there. There's more grip, okay, to push into. Okay, you got a little higher grip back here, you know, on both of these. So that helps to some extent. So even though they look a little odd, boy, they are so functional. Can I shoot this one again? Would you mind? Let's do that. All right. I'm not going to try to shoot everything. You know, I haven't shot. Yeah, I did. I shot the paper. Let's shoot the cowboy since we have a revolver. All right. I'll try him double action. All right. Click. I keep wanting that 6th round. So, yeah, that's a vintage Smith made in the 70s. And, you know, again, the Bodyguard, I know they got new Bodyguards out and semi-automatics and that kind of thing, but this was known as the, you know, the Model 49, the Bodyguard. And when it was in stainless, it was, guess what? 649. That's what Smith does. They put a 6 in front of the model when they come out with it in stainless. So you see how that works. You got that groove there. You can get a hold of the hand. It's got a hammer. Even this one has a hammer. You have to have a hammer. It's just that this one's not totally concealed. So you could say you get the best of both worlds, you know, of these two, right? You get a snag-free firearm, but you also get a firearm that you can cock. I'll shoot it one more time before I let you go. But, and I don't really know any other lies to tell you about it. It's a classic, and I think they still make it. don't they? Do you, Smith? I think they do. And it, you know, it makes some sense. It really does. You know what? I brought out the wrong ammo. This is why there's always a learning moment, right, around here. I meant to grab all the 38 Special. This is 357 Magnum. If I fired it in this gun, guess what? It would kick. Except, no, it wouldn't. Why not? Because you cannot chamber it in there. Okay, let me get the 38 Special. We'll just take a brief second. 38 Special. See, if I could read, I wouldn't have these problems. That's why when they came up with 357 Magnum, the brains involved in that said, you know what? A person could load a 38 Special case to Magnum velocities, right? That's just, you know, different powder, not a problem at all. So just to make sure, so anyway, so these are Magnum, of course. Cases are longer, got more room for more powder, and they are going to be Magnum, you know, cases. So let's just make sure they don't end up in a 38 Special. All right, and that's what happened. They don't go all the way in. You could not close the cylinder. You can see that, okay? So that's what takes care of an ignoramus like me, all right? So there you go. So let's try some ammo that's designed for this revolver. All right. So anyway, the Bodyguard, the Humpback, known by a lot of names, by any name, you know, like Shakespeare said, by any other name, a rose is still a rose, as sweet as it is, or whatever ever. I don't know how sweet this is, but it is what it is, whatever you want to call it. Okay. How about Model 49? Let's just put some rounds on. That's click. Yeah. Main thing is with a little revolver like this, you want to be able to pull it out, shoot a double action, hit something up close. And a lot of what I'm shooting is really too far away. These are designed for, you know, closer than that, but they work. So that's the Model 49, a neat old Smith that pin barrel, and you know, if you like Smith and Wesson revolvers, this kind of thing might appeal to you because they are pretty neat, I have to admit. And a strange looking animal, but yeah, might be something that would appeal to you. I think they still make it. If not, there's a lot of them floating around in the airweight versions and different things. In fact, they make one of their titanium 44 Special firearm that they quit making a long time ago, just made it for a short period of time. It's like a bigger version of this, and stainless and titanium, I believe, in 44 Special, but it's got the same humpback where you can cock it and shoot it single action, you know, double action, either one. So it's a fairly popular design, that humpback design, and people who shoot and are shooters understand it, even though it looks a little odd, and understand what it's all about. It works. I'm glad y'all came out today, because your life just would not have been complete without understanding and knowing a little bit more about the Model 49 Smith & Wesson. Life is good.
Tired. It's a long walk from where I had to shoot that. Oh man. Oh hey, didn't see you guys there. Since you're here, I want to let you know about our friends over at Talon Grips and Ballistol. TalonGunGrips.com. Check out everything they have over there. You can get lots of different grips, the stick-on grip textures for your handguns and rifle grips, so go check them out. Also Ballistol, they're a firearms lubricant or anything else you might need lubricating. It's water soluble and non-toxic. Been using it on the compound and cleaning all of our guns. It's a cleaner and a lube for over 10 years. So Ballistol, Talon Grips, definitely check both of those companies out. And also, while you're on the internet, don't forget to go to Hickok45.com. You can also find us on Facebook, Hickok45, Twitter, Hickok45, Instagram, The Real Hickok45, and also I have an Instagram page where I post behind the scenes stuff and different things like that. John, JOHN_HICKOK45 on Instagram. And the next thing you have to do is watch more videos.